Welcome back to part 2, where we will be making our first bracelet. We're going to be making one out of hemp cord. If you don't follow me on Instagram or didn't see my story on Instagram, this is a bracelet that we're going to be making. I thought it was a fun pattern that I had seen online and really simple, good way to learn how to make bracelets. If you are watching this on Instagram or my Pinterest, I suggest that you go to my YouTube channel, Maddie's Embroidery, and you will find the full version of this tutorial. We will be making it out of this thinner hemp cord. This one's a little too thick, so this color, this brown, is what we're going to be using today. I will also be doing another tutorial where we will be using the ribbon clasps. I do want to say, I promise you my hands are clean. I know they look dirty. I've been helping fix the car. We were stranded in a parking lot for the last 18 hours, so I promise you they are clean. I just barely washed them. Anyways, so there will be another tutorial where we will make a bracelet using these. So with bead looming, you always string one row or one length of string, whatever you want to call it, more than how many rows you want to make with your beads. So like this one, since this one is 3 rows of beads that we're going to be doing, we're going to be stringing 4 rows with the string. We'll just be using this black one. I think that it matches good up against the brown, because if you'll notice again on this bracelet, you can see the string over it. So I just think it looks a lot neater than the white string. Alright, well, let's jump into it. The website that I found online has them for significantly cheaper, except there's not as many grams in theirs. I think it's only 2 or 3 grams, where this is 7.2 grams. But they are between $1 and $3 a color. So that's one option. You can always just get 2 if you want, and it would still be cheaper. And they do have sales. It's called jewelrysupply.com, or even if you just look up Mayuki seed beads 11-1, or sorry, 11-0. This. There's plenty of other websites that you can buy them off of. Alright, so I got my beading mat. I am not sure which needle I want to use. I've got my longer one that I showed you last time. This is the other needle that I used to use before I got my longer ones. Just got it at Joann's. I think that these ones are fine. Honestly, they're just a bit flimsy and they bend really easy. I'm obviously not going to bend it because I don't want it bent. Some people prefer their needles to be bent. I am not one of those people. Let's get to stringing. So, when you're using hemp cord, you're going to use that, you're going to string that first. I just find that it's easier to do it that way. I went ahead and already strung it, but I will tell you how I did it. I use tape also with my beading loom. Yes, I am not a professional bead loom maker, so my loom does have flaws. So when you string your loom, you always string one more row than however many rows of beads you're wanting to use. For example, we're doing 3 rows of beads for our bracelet, so we're going to string 4 rows. As you can see, I used tape to tape down the ends of the cord and also the sides just for more security. I am doing a voiceover because my mic stopped working, so that's why it doesn't match quite with the video. Now we're going to string the black string on our loom. First we're going to start pulling the string a bit and doing a double knot over our hook or whatever it is on your loom to secure your string. To do a double knot, if you don't know, you're just going to wrap your tail around twice. Then just put it over your hook, and I usually do another knot afterwards just for more security again. Once you've got it knotted, we're going to start stringing our loom. you're going to start on the insides of the hemp cord. Doesn't matter which side of the inside of the hemp cord. And you're just going to do the next notch. As you can see, my hemp cord is at one of the notches. I'm going to do the next one, pull it over, make sure it's straight also. Wrap it around, very next notch, and pull it down again. I then wrap it around a few times, again just for more security, and then cut a pretty long tail so that you can do a knot. It doesn't always nicely match up where you can use the first tail to make a knot, but luckily with this one it does. My tail for the beginning wasn't very long, but I still made it work. That's why it's pretty important to make a long tail so that you can make it easier on yourself, really. Again, you can do one knot, you can do two. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that it's pretty secure because you're going to be pulling on your strings. Now we're going to thread our needle. So grab whichever needle you're deciding to use. I cut off about my wingspan's worth of thread. Snip it off and then thread your needle. Because I do this all the time with my embroidery, I'm pretty good at it. It's totally fine if you need to pause the video until you get your needle threaded. With bead looming, you bead on your threads, either left to right or right to left, whichever way you want to do. You are going to tie your needle thread on the hemp cord of whichever way you're going to start out. So I do left to right, so I'm going to tie my knot on my left string of my hemp cord. You can do a double knot also, that's what I do, but it's totally up to you. That's it for part 1 of part 2, so make sure you follow so that you can finally join us on when we start beading.